All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video as we go 90 players, 90 questions leading into training camp. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They've got two locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Go say hi to Damon and Mary, get some brisket chili, tell them that Krug sent you. And this video is also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles, 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove. Call Anthony Catania at 831-521-5264. All right, 90 players, 90 questions. We start first on the offensive side of the football, and we'll just march it down for every single player on the Niners 90-man offseason roster. We're going to give you what we think is the most pertinent question facing them heading into training camp this summer in Santa Clara. All right, we'll start with Brock Purdy. He is number one on the list. He is the most important 49er, the starting quarterback. And the question I have is just how much better can Brock get? How much better? Have we seen the best of Brock Purdy, or can he get better? I think there's a very good chance he can get better. This is his first full off season in the offense where he hasn't been rehabbing in the elbow. And I think you're going to see the best of Brock Purdy, not in 2 years, not in 3 years, right now. How much better can Brock get? I think there's no doubt in my mind he can get better. He will get better. The question is where and how much better. But that's the question for Brock Purdy. How much better can he get? All right, Josh Dobbs, number 2 on this list. And my question for Josh Dobbs is, which quarterback is he? Is he the quarterback who tore up Dallas in week 3, going 17 of 21, 189 yards and a touchdown, who had 6 runs that day for 55 yards, almost 9.2 yards per carry? Or is he the quarterback who was awful against the Bears on national TV in late November when he threw 4 interceptions and could have thrown 7? He was horrible that day. Which quarterback is the real Josh Dobbs? Is it the guy that looked great against Dallas? Is it the guy that looked like he sucked and should never play again against the Bears on was Monday night or Thursday night, whatever it was, national TV, late November in Minnesota? He was horrible in that game. Absolutely horrible. Which guy is he? Which quarterback is the actual real Josh Dobbs? All right, number 3, Brandon Allen. Is he a lock to make the roster? Some people would say yes. Other people would say no. You know, he hasn't really, if you look at Brandon Allen's career, he backed up Joe Burrow, but he has never really done anything. He's like 2-5 or whatever as a starter. He's, got fewer touchdowns than he's got, I think, more interceptions than touchdowns. He's trustworthy. I know Kyle Shanahan likes him, but is he a lock to make this roster, or is he just a guy, a jag, just a guy? Or is he a lock to make it as number 3? Are they even a lock to keep 3? But to me, that's my question with Brandon Allen. How good is he, and is he a lock to make the final roster? Question 4, Tanner Mordecai, the rookie from Wisconsin, by way of SMU, by way of Oklahoma. We're going to find out this summer about the personnel evaluation eye of Brian Griese. He's the guy, one of the guys that really talked up Shanahan and Lynch on Purdy, and Griese is very optimistic. He was the guy who was in charge of looking at quarterbacks for this draft. He's the guy that liked Tanner Mordecai. He's the guy that talked to Mordecai's head coach, Luke Fickell, who told him that if there was one Wisconsin player he would pound the table for and stand on the table for and argue for, it would be Tanner Mordecai. Is Brian Griese's eye for quarterback talent elite? If Tanner Mordecai, is good, is he going to become the second really good quarterback that was kind of discovered to some degree by Brian Griese? Brian Griese's the Niners quarterback coach. He's a former quarterback in the NFL. He was a good college player. He was a good NFL player. He wasn't spectacular neither. He's been a good broadcaster. Is his true calling as a professional his quarterback evaluation skills? Because he's the guy who liked Purdy and got Shanahan and Lynch excited. When I asked him about Mordecai, he likes Mordecai, and you can tell he's intrigued by Tanner Mordecai. How's Mordecai going to play this summer? Is he going to play really, really well and look like Brock Purdy 2.0 and Everybody's going to be going, Brian Griese should be our GM, and he's got an eye for quarterback talent that's the best in all of football. If Tanner Mordecai is even an NFL player, then Brian Griese's eye for quarterback talent is borderline elite. Elite. So my question for Tanner Mordecai is Brian Griese's eye for quarterback talent elite? Will Mordecai be the second good under the radar QB partially discovered by Brian Griese? All right, question number 5. We get to Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey had 272 runs last year, 67 receptions, 339 touches. How many touches is ideal for CMC? I would say it's less than 339. He didn't have a full gas tank in the playoffs or in the postseason in the Super Bowl. As I say that, I watched the Earl Campbell Football Life last night. Earl Campbell, in 3 straight years, had 368 rushes, 373 rushes, and 361 rushes. 3 straight years for Bum Phillips. He averaged in those 3 years 388 touches per year. Now, he only had like a 5 or 6 year career. Still made Canton. But Christian McCaffrey is not approaching 388, but 339 is a shit ton. You've got Jordan Mason. You've got Garendo. You've got Elijah Mitchell. You've got all these receivers. You've got, 2 receivers you just drafted. You got other backs. I would say the ideal number of touches for CMC is under 300. Keep him under 300 for the year. I realize he's a great player, but monitor his touches so that he's big time come playoff time. So I would say, how many is an ideal number for CMC? I'll just pick a nice round number, 300. 300 touches is enough for CMC. Anything more than that is probably overkill. All right, question number 6, Elijah Mitchell. How does he fit in here? You got Garendo, you got Cody Schrader, you got JP Mason ascending, you got, MVP candidate CMC, you got Mitchell, you got a, cap that's getting tighter, his salary's going up. Will he get traded before week 1? I think is the question that I would throw out for Elijah Mitchell. I think there's a lot of teams in the league that would love to have Elijah Mitchell, and the possibility of him being traded before week 1, I think is very, very real. You're only going to have so many running back spots on the roster. If you really like Cody Schrader, and I do, then he's got one of them. If you really like Garendo and his speed and his potential, and I do, then he's got one of them. Well, if those guys both have a roster spot, then Elijah Mitchell's probably traded. All right, question number 7 for JP Mason. Is this his year? Is this the year that Shanahan finally takes the ankle weights off of JP Mason and lets him run the ball? Is this the year this guy finally busts out? He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he breaks tackles. He doesn't play. He gets no run. I mean, you would swear that Shanahan hates JP Mason. I mean, if Mason went to the podium one of these days, I almost want to ask him, did you bump into Shanahan's car in the parking lot? I mean, what the hell does Shanahan have against you? Because you're incredible and you never play. And that's got to stop. So is this the year that Shanahan finally comes to his senses and realizes that, you know what? This JP Mason guy that we have in the roster is pretty fucking good. Is this the year? All right. Question number 8, Isaac Garendo. What is he? Is he a running back? Shanahan told me he's a running back. He doesn't look like a running back. He doesn't run like a running back. Is he a fullback? Is he a wide receiver? Is he a kick returner, punt returner? Is he the ideal return man with the new rules? To me, he looks like a fullback. He's wearing a fullback number. He looks like a fullback. He doesn't look like he has any pick and slide at all. He looks like a trap running fullback who can maybe catch the ball. But what is he? I think we're going to find out this summer. That's my big question with Garendo. We know he's an athlete. We know he's big, strong, fast. But what is he? I think he's a fullback. All right, question number 9, Cody Schrader. Is Schrader a steal as an undrafted rookie free agent, the way that Raheem Mostert was, the way that Jeff Wilson was? Is this Bobby T's latest find? And I say the answer is yes. This guy is a steal. Tremendous talent. Cody Schrader. But that's the question. Is he Bobby T's latest undrafted rookie running back free agent steal? I think he is. Patrick Taylor, the free agent from Green Bay. What's his ideal role? I mean, I'm watching him on the practice field. He's tall. He's athletic. He looks good in the uniform. He's fast. What is he? What's his role? Is he a running back? Is he a fullback? Is he an all-purpose back? Is he a receiver? Is he a special teamer? What exactly is Patrick Taylor? Why did they sign Patrick Taylor? You've got CMC, you've got Garendo, you've got Schrader, you've got all these guys, you've got Mitchell, you've got Mason. What did you need with Patrick Taylor? And what's his role going to be? I think discovering that is going to be one of the fun things this summer. I'll say this from watching him in minicamp, huge talent, huge athlete, big, strong, fast, athletic, looks good in the uniform. I'd love to know what his role is going to be. Kyle Juszczyk, question number 11. At age 33, is he still a lock to make the final 53-man roster? What if I'm right? What if Garendo's just a fullback who runs in the 4-3s? Then, maybe this is the year that Juszczyk, who redid his contract, doesn't make the 53. He's 33. It doesn't last forever. He probably only has a year or two left with the Niners. He's very dependable, but you drafted Garendo, and you're probably only going to keep 5 or 6 running backs, including the fullback. So is there room on a roster for Juszczyk and Garendo? Probably not. So I got to ask, at age 33, is Kyle Juszczyk, who's always been a favorite of Shanahan since he's been here, and he's been here the entire time Shanahan's been here, is he a lock to make the roster? Or if he just looks kind of okay and Garendo looks really spectacular, can Garendo take his spot? That one's a major question this year. Is Juszczyk a lock to make the roster? Question 12, Brandon Ayuk. Is he going to hold out? Are we going to see Brandon Ayuk? And if he holds out, is he going to be ineffective in September? But that's the big question with Brandon Ayuk. We can, it's not how much is he going to get, how much guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's going to be, will he be traded? But just, is he going to hold out? Is he going to hold out throughout the entirety of training camp? That's the question attached to him. Question 13, Deebo Samuel. Will Deebo be in a good place mentally, knowing that this could be his final year with the team? There's a lot of speculation the Niners may trade him. There's talk out of Pittsburgh that the Steelers believe they're going to trade for Ayuk or Deebo or a top receiver before. There's T. Higgins, of course, he's out there as well. Before week 1, a lot of people speculating it's Ayuk or Deebo. Of those two, it's probably Deebo. But let's just say Deebo's not traded and he shows up in camp and all the handwriting on the wall is he's done with the Niners at the end of the year. What does that do to him mentally? What does that do to his leadership ability in the room? How will Deebo be, as far as with the media, with his teammates, emotionally, mentally? He is a leader. He's a tone setter, but he's got to be in the right place. And they've kept him in the right place mentally and emotionally by paying him. But now that it looks like the handwriting's on the wall and he's in his final year with the Niners, especially if Ayuk gets signed and JJ has already signed, where's Deebo emotionally? Where's he mentally? What's he like in the room this year? Is he unaffected by his contractual situation? That would show me that he's an incredible professional. Or is he totally different than he's been in the past because he's totally, totally focused on the future and what's going to happen with him in the future? I don't know. But to me, you got to have him in a good place mentally and emotionally. And where's he going to be mentally and emotionally if Ayuk gets paid and CMC gets some extra bucks and JJ already got paid and he got paid? But, if the handwriting is he's gone at the end of the year and he believes it, what does that do to him mentally and emotionally in that room as a leader throughout the year? I think that's something to watch for. Question 14, Juwan Jennings. Will JJ set a new career high in receptions? He's only had 35. That's his career high. He just got paid pretty good money. Does he get 36 receptions? Does he up his career high? I would say he does, but you got Cowing and you got Pearsall and you've got other guys. You maybe a team trying to justify what they paid Brandon Ayuk. I mean, there's a lot of factors here that could go against JJ getting a career high in receptions. His career high is 35. Does he get 36? That, to me, is the big question. With Ricky Pearsall, question 15, can he take a big hit? I know he can separate. I know he's got hands. I know he's got ball skills. I know he got crunched in that one hit in the SEC that everybody keeps showing. Can he take a big hit from an NFL interior defender and still run across the middle with this fearlessness and with this aggressiveness? That's my question with Ricky Pearsall. Question 16, Jacob Cowing. Can he separate in the NFL against NFL caliber corners? He ran 4.38. That's a good number. It's not, 4.28. It's a good number, but there's great athletes in the NFL. This guy got away with, he found a way to separate in the Pac-12, found a way to separate at UTEP. Can he find that separation in the NFL against the top caliber corners in the league? That would be my question for him. Question 17, Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell, he's got hands, he's got moves, he's got a lot of attractive traits, but can he beat man-to-man coverage? Is he a good enough athlete, overall to beat the jam at the line of scrimmage and beat tight man, press man coverage? To me, that's the one question. Can he beat press man coverage? Can he get off the line of scrimmage and consistently beat man-to-man? If he can, he's going to have a long career in the NFL because he's got great ball skills. If he can't, he's probably going to be out of the league in a couple of years, and he's probably a back of the receiving core type guy, wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6. But that's my question for him. He's got great hands. Can he beat man-to-man coverage, tight man-to-man coverage? Danny Gray, question 18. Is he tough enough for the NFL? I mean, is he tough enough? Is this guy, when he's taken hits, he's gotten hurt and wound up out for long periods of time. Can he take a couple tough hits in the NFL and stay upright? Is Danny Gray just that guy he's got great speed, but he just isn't tough enough to play in the NFL? That's my question with Danny Gray. Question 19, Chris Conley. Can he contribute on special teams? I mean, I think Chris Conley is a nice player. I think he's a good backup receiver, but I think the backup receiver, he's going for wide receiver 6. Wide receiver 6 is going to have to play a role on special teams. Does Conley have a role on special teams? If not, he's probably not going to make the roster as wide receiver 6. That would be my question with Chris Conley. I know you're big. I know you're strong. I know you're fast. I know you have experience. I'd like to have you on the roster, but you're competing for wide receiver 6. And wide receiver 6 has got to be a special teamer. And do you play special teams? And what's your role on special teams? Can you carve one out in the preseason? That's his question. Question number 20 for Trent Taylor. Can he make the team on special teams? Trent Taylor has no role from scrimmage, but he's a really good special team, dependable return man. Can he do enough as a return man? Is his value as a safe-handed, sure-handed return guy, is that enough for him to make this football team? Because he has no role from scrimmage. He's a special teamer only. So that's my question for Trent Taylor. Can he make the team, seeing that he'll only play special teams? Tay Martin, number 21. Can he separate from NFL corners? Tay's big and strong. He's got great hands. He's got a good red zone guy, has real good ball skills, could really be valuable if he were the possession receiver on a receiving core that had a lot of speed. But on this team, he's going to have to show that he's a little bit more than just a possession receiver. He's going to have to play special teams. He's going to have to show that he's got some separation ability, that he's not just a slow possession receiver with good hands. He's not an undersized tight end. He's got to show that he can separate from NFL corners. I don't know if he can. Question 22, Tariq Owens, Terrell Owens' son. Can he show enough potential in camp and in the preseason to make the Niners practice squad? They're probably going to have a receiver or two on the practice squad. Does Tariq flash enough talent in July and in August that at the cut down, he's not going to make the roster, but does he show enough potential as a receiver to make the practice squad? That's his question. Question 23, George Kittle. Can he stay healthy? I don't think he was healthy to begin the year. He clearly wasn't healthy late in the year. He had the core injury. Said he played week 10 on with a core injury. He's going to play a lot. He's the number 1 tight end in a team that doesn't really have a tight end too. So can he stay healthy? I mean, that's my question with George as he turns to 30. He likes to run through and not around, but that leads to injuries. I admire him and I admire the toughness, but can he stay healthy? George Kittle at less than 100% is not what the Niners need. They need him as close to 100% as possible if they're going to win the Super Bowl. And that means you don't win the Super Bowl in November. You win the Super Bowl in January. So can he stay healthy into January? Braden Willis, question 24. Can he block? Braden Willis is an undersized guy, receiving tight end, probably in line to take Dwelly's receiving tight end backup role. But can he block? Can he block defensive ends on the line of scrimmage, or is he solely a receiver? Question 25, Cam Latu. Can he bounce back from what was just an absolutely atrocious training camp in 2023 where balls ricocheted off his face mask? Was he mentally just so overmatched by the complexity of a pro offense that it just bled through into his hands and got to the point where he couldn't catch anything? He was awful last year. Was it just that he was mentally overburdened? And now that he knows the offense in year 2, does he bounce back and have a much better camp? If he's anything like he looked at last year in camp, he's cut. But can he bounce back from what was a truly awful camp in 2023 and make this roster? Question 26, Mason Pline, tight end, undrafted free agent out of Furman. Can he block? Can he handle NFL physicality? Can he separate against NFL defenders? He reminds me a lot of Brent Jones. Big, strong, taller than Jones, but tall, good receiver, wants to block, try hard, really smart. I see Brent Jones here, which I know a lot of people go, whoa, Krug, that's a major. Yeah, I get it. I understand. I like Mason Pline. I think Mason Pline's pretty damn good. I liked him before the draft. I liked him before the Niners took him. So, yeah, he reminds me of Brent Jones a little bit. He's more of a receiver than a blocker. Can he block enough? That's the question. Can he be physical enough? Can he handle the NFL physicality enough? I like him. I think he's a real sleeper. That's question 26. Question 27, Eric Saubert. Can he become the 49ers tight end too? He actually looked pretty good in the minicamp. As a receiver, as a blocker, or strength-wise. This is a guy who just he's got some talent. He just kind of has always fallen through the cracks. Hasn't been exactly what anybody's looking for. Now he's on a depth chart where there's a clear number 1 and no clear number 2. And can he take it? I mean, this is the biggest training camp of Eric Saubert's career. There's real opportunity here. Question 28, Jake Tungs, from Cal. Is he solely a camp body? I would say he is. I'd say he's a camp body. Question 29, Trent Williams. Can Trent play at his incredible level for another season? Or is this the year that he regresses? He's getting into the twilight of his physical career. He doesn't have a lot of years left. He probably has one more year left at top level play. That would be my guess. But maybe last year was his last year at the top level. Can he maintain his elite level of play for a full another football season? That'll be my question with Trent. Aaron Banks, question 30. Can he avoid another series of concussions? This probably is the key factor for him getting a new contract. If he's got more, 3-4 games where he misses with concussions, they probably don't sign him. But if he can somehow play the full year and avoid having those concussions and can play all the games, then he probably gets a contract. So to me, the concussions are a big deal this year for Aaron Banks. Can he avoid them? Question number 31, Jake Brendel. Can he hold on to his job? There's Ben Barch. There's Drake Nugent. There's Colton McKivitz who can play there if somebody plays right tackle better than Colton. You got Nick Sakel. You've got, John Feliciano. I mean, there's other guys. You got Kingston, Jarrett Kingston. Can Jake Brendel, who was a street free agent in his own right, can he hold on to his gig as the starting center? I think that's his question. John Feliciano, question 32. Can he win a starting job, or is he best as a valuable, combo center guard backup? I think he's more valuable as a versatile backup who can come off the bench in a moment's notice and play. I think that's where he's more valuable on this team. Question 33, Colton McKivitz. Can he pass protect? Can he pass protect well enough to keep Brock Purdy upright so that the 49ers can go win a Super Bowl? He struggled against TJ Watt in week 1. He bounced back after that, but he struggled again a little bit in the Super Bowl. Is Colton a good enough pass protector at right tackle for the Niners to win the Super Bowl? That's my question with Colton, and I love him. Jalen Moore, can he continue to improve? He's, one thing with Shanahan, he says Jalen Moore's continued to get a little bit better every year. And I see that. And when I talk to the guy, I think he's in a good mental spot. Can he continue to improve so that if they have to go to a third tackle at right or left tackle because Trent goes down or McKivitz goes down, that Jalen Moore will not be just a turnstile? That's my question with Jalen. Can he continue to up his game as a pass protector? The question 35, Spencer Burford. Can he put it all together in year 3? He had a good rookie year, sharing time with Brunskill. Regressed last year significantly. Had a real high-profile gaffe in a key moment in the Super Bowl. It's now year 3. This is it. It's go time for Spence. Can he put it all together this year? That's the question for him. Question 36, Ben Bartch. Can he beat out Jake Brendel and start at center? Forster's a big fan of Bartch. Bartch is a veteran. He's got some good film. I think he's probably got some higher end potential than Brendel. Brendel's a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. That's the question with Bartch. I think that's his ticket to the roster. He either beats out Jake Brendel as the starting center, or maybe he can get the final backup spot. That's what he's looking at this summer. Question 37, Dominic Pooney. Can he win the starting job at right guard as a rookie? I think he can. I think I'm looking at a guy with tenacity and fire and athleticism and good footwork, and he's looking to finish people. I think Pooney can win that starting job at right guard. Question 38, Chris Hubbard. Can he beat out Colton McKivitz? This is the veteran competition for McKivitz at right tackle, and Hubbard's played. And if Hubbard plays to his highest level, he might be right there with McKivitz. And this could be a very tough call for Chris Forster. Does he go with Hubbard or does he go with McKivitz? So that's the big one for Hubbard. Can he beat out Colton? Question 39, Jarrett Kingston. Can he earn a starting job on this roster at center or guard? He's plenty quick, plenty strong, broad, lots of athletic potential. They like his profile. Can he make the roster? Can he make the practice squad? Can he push Brendel for his starting gig? Question 40, Drake Nugent. Can he win the starting center job over Brendel? I think he can. I think Drake Nugent potentially is the Niners starting center, even as an undrafted free agent. I think he's got that kind of potential. Question number 41, Nick Zakelj. Can he earn a backup job and show versatility? Whoever's going to get that last backup job is going to have to be able to play right and left, guard and tackle and center. Can Zakelj, Zakel's Brock Purdy's buddy, and that's helped him for sure. He now has to show that he is the jack of all trades, that he is the offensive lineman that makes the roster because he can play all 5 spots in a pinch and help out. To me, that's Zakelj's ticket to the roster. He either has to win the center job over Brendel, or he's got to show that he can play all 5 spots better than any other lineman there, and that he's the last offensive lineman on the bench. Question 42, Brandon Parker. Can he pass protect? Is he quick enough to pass protect, or is he just a 6'8" guy with long arms who floats around the league and is never good enough to really ever start on any good team? Question 43, Bryson Mays. Can he show enough fire and enough athleticism in training camp and in the preseason to make it to the Niners practice squad in what now looks to be somewhat deep 49er offensive line backup list? So that's his question. So that's the offense. Outside of, wait a second, we've got one more offensive player. Isaac Alarcon, who is the international offensive lineman, came from Dallas. I think he's definitely an upgrade over Alfredo Gutierrez as far as their international player. I think Alarcon's actually got an ability to play from scrimmage. I don't think Gutierrez ever was going to get on the field. But that's the question for Big Isaac, is he's going to be on the roster this year probably as their international player. Is he an upgrade from Gutierrez? And I think the answer to that is yes. All right, that does it for our 90-man preview. We just went to the offense. Next video, we'll go defense and special teams. One question for every player is what we're doing heading into training camp. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for sponsoring this video. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.